Welcome to A Room in This World. This is Jupiter.
I'm Pluto.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. Okay. Well, basically, guys, we should probably say that this is what we're talking about this episode.
Oh, yeah, this episode we're going to be talking about Umbrella Academy, season 2 mostly, but like a little bit of season 1.
So bear in mind, if you haven't watched Umbrella Academy, uh, you should go and watch it. Come back,
Mm.
listen to this episode of um
A Room
about
in This
season
World?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Remember This World. But basically, in season 1, you get there's like the specific date in time where there are born, I think it's 49 or 43 or something kids. Like,
43, I think. Yeah.
yeah, they were just born out of nowhere. And this man, weird man, collects these kids and he gets 7 of them who he puts into his academy, which he calls the Umbrella Academy, and like basically um is their parent, their guardian, and he names them number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7.
Clever.
And they all have, yeah, and they all have special powers. And number 1 is Luther Hargreaves. Their last name
Mhm.
is Hargreaves, and he's like a he has super strength basically. Number
Mhm.
2 is Diego,
Mhm.
and he
Can
is
control
really good with
metal.
knives.
Yeah, knives, control metal and stuff. Well, mostly knives, and he can make them like zoom around the air. That was a terrible description, but yeah.
He's like kind of like I was gonna compare him to Hawkeye, but people might be upset.
Oh, attack.
Yeah, he's
uh,
not like Hawkeye,
he's
okay?
more like who's that girl from X-Men who can like who's like telekinetic powers?
The blue one?
The blue no, the one with the red hair. Jane?
Uh, sure.
Well, basically, like you can control things with your mind, but he can
Yeah,
only
yeah,
do that with knives.
yeah. And then you have number 3, which is Allison, and Allison can like if she says I heard a rumor, she can be like I heard a rumor you sang a song, and then you'll start singing the song. So it's pretty powerful,
Mm.
but she has to use her voice. And then number 4 is Klaus, my
Love
favorite.
of my life.
Um, he can talk to the dead basically, and like
Mm.
I guess summon the dead,
Yeah.
kinda like project them in a
Mm.
sense.
But
But he
well,
struggles a
yeah.
lot with this
Mm.
because I mean, who wouldn't if they talk to the dead? Number 5 is um his name is 5. They don't have another name for him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name.
And he's the one. Oh, we'll come back to that. But number 5 is like very crucial.
Hmm.
And then number 6 is Ben
Ben.
Hargreaves,
Mm.
who passes away when they're young, and he's like he has like tentacles and stuff when he goes all crazy.
Yeah.
And he's like Klaus's best friend because
Mm.
Klaus can talk to the dead and Ben is dead. Um,
Mm.
And then number 7 is Vanya, the one
Mm.
who throughout season 9 she always thought she was ordinary. She didn't have any powers, but it's because the family, spoiler alert, pretends that she did, or like basically the dad made her forget that she had powers because her powers were too powerful.
Mm.
And she is called, if anyone's seen, I think there's a comic and she's the white violin.
Oh, is that what she's called? Why do you know that? I don't know that.
I don't know. When I saw season 1, I was like, damn, and I did some research, and yeah,
Oh, all right, all right.
I like the concept.
Mm.
And basically, they all this is a recap of season 1. I'm gonna try and make it short, but like they are all scattered across everywhere in season 1, and then the dad or the monocle guy that adopts them when they're young, he dies, which makes everyone like come to his funeral, and there's a lot of family drama. And suddenly, 5, the crucial guy, the crucial boy with no name other than 5,
Mhm.
suddenly he appears in like a portal in the sky and he jumps down and
Mm.
he's a boy because he's been missing for a while.
No, wait.
And
We have to
yeah,
clarify that they're all like in their like 20s, like late 20s or like mid
yeah,
20s.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're quite grown up now.
And he's been missing for quite some time. So but he comes out of the portal as a young boy, like a teenage boy.
Mm.
And basically what's happened to him is that he time traveled and then he um yeah, I messed up the calculations
Mm.
and he got stuck in the future, a post-apocalyptic future,
Mm.
with only one clue as to how they could stop it. So then he gets this time travel thing because there's a lot of things about time travel, and he jumps back and messes up the calculations again so that, or something happens so that he jumps back into the teenage body instead of being the like old 45-year-old man that he is or something.
Mm. Ooh, all
And
yeah, sorry. We didn't clarify what number five's powers were, but he can teleport and also
yeah,
travel through time apparently, but it goes wrong.
yeah. And his mission and what the entire series is based of is like stopping Doomsday. They have
Mm.
10 days before Doomsday is happening, and he's back there to help them stop it so that they don't all die, basically. Yeah, that's season 1, almost spoiler free, but then the biggest spoiler is that Vanya has powers and
Mm.
she causes Doomsday after all.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she finds out that everyone's using her basically.
Mm. And it's like the thing where it's like when you're trying to stop something, you're inevitably making it worse,
Yeah.
which it was interesting. There's also some other characters we forgot to mention that I want to like quickly mention as well.
Yeah.
I want to mention they have a mum, but she's like a robot mum, and like she takes care of them, and she's like broken in this season. Don't really know why.
Yeah.
There's also Pogo, which is like a talking like chimpanzee, right? And he's really cute,
Yeah.
and we love him. Do we though? There's also Vanya's boyfriend is like the main antagonist of this show. Well, main apart from the
Of
dad
that season.
of
Yeah.
that season, yeah, he's one of the main antagonists. Basically, he's like super obsessed with the Umbrella Academy because the dad said something mean to him when he was a kid, like, "Oh, you're too boring. You don't have powers. You'll never get into the Umbrella Academy." So then it was like his life's mission to get revenge or something on the Umbrella Academy, and he also had like an abusive dad, and so he like sneaks into Vanya's life kinda and like manipulates her, and that's also another reason that the apocalypse happens. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. And season 1 ends with Vanya having like all her powers shot this beam of light that, or beam of
Mm.
something that hit the
Energy
moon. Yeah, energy that hit the moon, and then the moon
broke.
explodes and
Yeah.
there's a meteor that comes crashing down to Earth. But just before everyone dies, or at least the six of them,
Yeah.
they number five has like a suitcase he can travel with and time travel
Mm.
with, and he makes them all jump back in time. But season 1
Mhm.
kind of fools us a little bit because
Mhm.
when they jump back, the like one of the last scenes is them returning to their younger bodies.
Mhm. Wait, when did
So
that
everyone,
happen?
yeah, it happens when they're like surrounded by the beam of like time traveling, and
Oh.
they become like their younger selves. So most people thought that season 2, um most people uh thought that the season 2 would be about their younger selves, like with their younger bodies. But as you'll come to know, that didn't happen at all.
Mhm.
S yeah, I just that's one of the things I remember because I was very excited to get young Allison and
Oh.
what's his face?
Luke?
Luke, yeah.
Wait, is his name Luke? Number
I
one's
think,
name. Yeah, I think it's Luke.
yeah,
We can see how loved he is as a character.
yeah. Um, Luther, LMAO.
Luther. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh. Yep.
Luke,
He's not
yeah.
he's not a fave if you can tell. Um
So that's
the
where season one leaves us, and
mhm.
then there's season two.
Wait. Did we say everything about season one there? I just want to make sure. Like, do you have any other opinions on it? Like, did you like it? Like, do a summary of your like thoughts.
Um, from what I can remember, I enjoyed season one. I was really keen on getting a season two because I liked the show. I liked the characters.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like good cinematography. Like it's just cool to watch,
mm.
and I enjoyed it.
What would you
Yeah,
give it out of 10?
I don't know, maybe a 7
Oh, okay, good.
or a 6.5.
Oh, yeah, I think you said you really liked it, 6.5.
But it's been a long time, so I don't remember that much about
Mm,
it.
okay, my thoughts as well. It's also been a really long time for me. Honestly, I can't lie. I really wasn't enjoying it at the start. Like, I don't know. It was also probably like something to do with like superhero fatigue. Like, I watch so many superhero stuff all the time, and like I probably watched it at a time where I watched a bunch of other superhero shows. So like, it was like, this doesn't really feel any different. But then that was only at the start. But then when I finished it, I was like, oh wow, I really liked it. And it like, was like climbing up the ranks. Not like my favorite show of all time or anything, but I don't know, I really liked it at the end. I don't know if it's just because I'm in love with Ellen Page, but anyway, yeah, no, I really liked the ending of season one, and I think it left off at like such a one of those perfect cliffhangers where you're like, you need to know what happens next, and I was so
Yeah.
hyped to get season two. And yeah, from filmmaking standpoints, as if I'm an expert, I'd agree with you that yeah, it looked like it was like a really good quality. I'd say like they looked like they had a high budget. Like the shots look
Yeah.
good. The music. I really want to talk about the music. The music in the fight scenes, especially this one where it's like really happy, fun music as Five just kills a bunch of people. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. That's like weirdly one of the scenes I remember like so well because it's hilarious and like
Is
also
that from season 1 or 2?
from season one and two. It was in the donut shop in season one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the music is really good in this show. I'd like to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very creative.
Mm. And fun and like out of the box. I'd like to say it's not just like some boring score or just like pop music. But then
Yeah.
I have some different thoughts on music in season two, but we'll get to that. um
And what is your
I
out of
actually have
10?
to agree with you. Like I'd say like a 6.75, the middle of the six
Wow.
point five and 7. But I get you. Like it's getting there. Like the characters make it really worth it. I have to say more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Let's talk about season two now.
Season 2. I don't know how to feel because it would, you know, you get you kind of start where you're left off in season 1,
Mm.
except they don't return to their younger bodies. I don't know what the hell that was about in season 1 then because they
Mm.
completely just scratched that. And
Mhm.
then all of them are scattered across the timeline of the 1960s in
Mm. America?
yeah, in Texas.
Texas. It was like the South. Yeah.
Yeah. Some are there in 1961, some in 62, and some in
Mm.
63, and blah blah.
Mhm.
And they all like get separate, different lives and stuff. And then Five, when he comes to Texas, he like comes on a day where everything looks different, and suddenly
Mm.
the gang is all there, and there's a war, not just a cold war between the Soviet Union
Mm.
or Russia and
Mm.
America. or the USA, but
Yeah.
like an actual physical war, and they're like fighting, and then suddenly there comes like a whole fucking some nukes,
Oh
and
yeah.
basically doomsday all over again. And then
Mhm.
he has to jump back 8 days.
Because is his name Hazel? Hazel is one of like, oh, we did not mention anything about like the agency or the time agency or whatever it's called. Okay, quick
Yeah.
little background. Like they're like this agency that works so that the timeline isn't messed up and they make sure that important historical events like actually happen the way they're supposed to. So like time travelers can't like mess with stuff, and they have these suitcases which let them travel in time, and like they're like quite a big deal basically because obviously time travel is useful as you can imagine. um so yeah, Hazel is one of these time travel agency people who's like out to kill Five in season 1, and that was like a big deal, but he's like a good guy now because he fell in love, and he saves number 5 from like the war that's happening, the second doomsday, I'd say.
And the woman he like fell in love with, she died of cancer.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Okay. um what happens? Oh yeah, and now number 5 is obviously just going to go find all of the other guys and like try to stop it again.
Yeah, and he comes back basically. They've got 8 days until the world ends again, and he has to find everyone and get everyone on board, and they have to stop Doomsday again, which is my first point of not liking season two.
Okay.
Um, is that we've seen this before.
Mm, literally
Um,
just the first season again, but in 1960.
yeah, but then again, I really do like the setting in the 1960s and everything.
Mm,
If we go through the characters, Luther,
mm,
number one, is he's not doing too well. He's like a because he was in an accident which made for him to survive his dad and the robot wife
mm.
made like his upper body is like monkey
Yeah, I
like
think he
huge.
got like a serum. I think it was
Yeah,
into that because when they were testing Pogo in second season, they gave him like this weird serum to like save his life. So I think like Luther got like this weird chimp serum to save his life, but like
yeah,
it also made him like really like hairy and like big. It's really
big.
weird to explain, but yeah.
Yeah. And so fighting, he's being paid to fight people by this
Mm,
guy. So that's basically what he's doing to get by. And then number two, Diego,
mm.
he is, for the time being, in the start, he was in a mental asylum.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he finds out, okay, basically, I don't know much about American history, but the time period they jump back to is like when, John F. Kennedy gets shot. So
yeah,
he finds out that he's back in time where he hasn't been shot yet and it hasn't happened yet. So he has this hero complex where he wants to save John F. Kennedy from being assassinated. So,
yeah.
and everyone obviously thinks he's crazy, so he gets locked up.
And when he's locked up, he meets a girl,
Called Lila,
um,
I think.
Lila, yeah. And they become basically like partners in crime
Mm,
and escape from this asylum and find Five. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. And then
Number
number
3.
three, Allison, is probably my favorite character this
Mm,
season.
mm.
Because it's really relevant, because of the Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's going on nowadays.
Um, Basically to explain, she goes back in time and it's like still where places are like, oh, whites only, and so and she couldn't speak from the last season where Vanya like cut her with her bow, really random. But so yeah, she couldn't speak. She gets stuck in a time where like black people don't have rights. Not that it's going that well right for us right now, but uh oh, that that sounded weird, but anyway,
Yeah.
she basically it's like a year later, and she joins the civil rights movement, and she wants to. basically, fight for their rights, which is
Yeah.
very relevant. And
And
it
she
was,
meets
yeah.
a
Oh,
guy, Raymond, who she marries.
yeah, and
And they,
yeah.
yeah, they like organize this sit-in, which I thought that scene was just amazing.
Mm,
They basically organize a sit-in where they'll go to the place where it says whites only, like this reoccurring
it's like
cafe
a diner, I'd say.
diner,
Hmm.
and they're basically just taking up all the seats and saying, "I want to be served," and
Mm,
they like sit there and everyone's rioting and it's yeah crazy. But she
mm,
hasn't used her powers
mm,
since what happened in season one, and she
yeah.
felt like she deserved the life she had. She felt happy and blah blah. But
Mm.
yeah, um, there's
uh,
so much to go into. Jesus
there's
Christ.
so much. This is gonna be a long one, I think.
Yeah, um,
Number
but she
four.
has to do
Oh,
it to save
mhm.
Raymond,
Yes.
um,
A cop is beating
because
him up.
they
Yeah.
yeah,
And so she says, I heard a rumor that you walked away. And then obviously Raymond thinks she's like some secret agent who's like sent there so that she could stop the movement. And he like runs away from her. And she's obviously really upset about that.
yeah. Um, then there's
Number four, Klaus.
for Klaus, our love.
I love.
Klaus is doing great. He is the gay icon we needed.
He really is, though. There's
And
so much
he's
gay stuff
thriving.
in
He
this
is
season.
thriving with Ben by his
Mm,
side.
yes.
And basically, he comes back to, the 1960s and
Mm.
he becomes
Cult leader?
a cult leader, yeah, because with Ben, he can do stuff, like
Mm,
if Ben holds him up, it looks like he's flying and stuff like that.
yeah.
So he becomes like a cult leader where on his hands it's tattooed yes and goodbye or
I think
something.
it's hello and goodbye.
Hello and goodbye, yeah.
Mm,
Um, and they travel the world and everything, but he gets very sick of this and
mm,
he doesn't really like it.
yeah.
And then there's from season one, um, Klaus accidentally time jumps
Mm. To the
into this,
Vietnam War, I
yeah, to
think?
the Vietnam War, and he meets a guy, Dave,
Oh,
and
Dave.
they fall in love, and
Mm,
it's super epic. And then
yeah.
Dave dies in the war.
Mm.
So Klaus comes to the store where Dave worked as a
Like a
younger kid
paint
before he went
guy?
to war.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
self
paint.
paint.
And he goes there to try and convince Dave to not go to the Vietnam War.
Mm.
But he's super creepy about it and everything.
Yeah,
But it
he's
turns out
mhm.
that he's kind of part of the reason why Dave signed up to the war
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah, he pushed him towards it because his uncle was like super homophobic and he was like, "Yeah, we're signing up right now because of what Klaus said." So, yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't go very well, but I guess he kind of accepts it. There
Does
was
he?
really no, there was really no resolution for that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those either, oh, we're just leaving it open or it's gonna be well, not really. It's not open because at the end they travel back. So, I guess he's just gonna die then.
Right, I guess so.
But then
Um,
does that mean that Klaus still goes back and then falls in love with him again, or is that reality just erased from
See,
existence?
that's the thing about time travel
Mm.
because this is I've thought a bit about this so much because then
Hmm.
it would have already have happened to Dave when Dave met him in the Vietnam War.
Mm.
So it would be weird if Dave didn't tell Klaus, "Hey, I've seen you before,
Mm.
but you haven't come to that point in your life where you've gone back to see me." You know?
Mm. Oh, it's gonna be so confusing. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll just ignore plot holes
yeah,
and roll with it because
but it's the same with we're gonna come to this, but when five meets five,
Five's gonna remember that he met himself.
he would have, yeah, five then, like
Mhm.
five in the 1960s, the current five
Mm,
would have remembered that his younger self would meet his older self in
mm.
the 1960s, and he would know that this is the time where that's gonna happen.
Honestly, it's a mess, let me tell you. Wait, are we moving on to
Yeah.
number five then?
Yes. Number five this season. Basically, he has a lot to do with well, basically just getting people back together,
Mm.
mostly.
Yeah,
Um,
he finds like a conspiracy theorist who's been conspiracizing that like oh all these people are related to like some weird mystery, and it's all like the children who came back in time. And basically, Five finds this guy, and the guy helps him like track down some other people, and like he's just a really nice guy. What's his name?
uh,
Yeah, okay. He's nice but not important enough to remember the name of
yeah,
apparently. But take our word for it, he's cute. And then yeah, basically Five's just trying to get everyone together.
yeah. And then he finds out that um there's well Hazel, when he saves Five from Doomsday in the
Mm.
1960s, he puts a thing in his pocket, like a disc with
Mm.
videotape on it,
Yeah, yeah.
and they watch the footage and they realize that their dad is there when John F. Kennedy is shot.
Yeah, yeah.
So they know that he's going to be there in a couple of days, and they think that he might know, like, he is a part of the key to
Responsible.
figuring
Yeah,
out
yeah.
how to not make doomsday happen.
Mm.
So he and Diego goes on this mission to find the dad, and they try for a long time, and the dad is
Yeah.
just like not having it, honestly.
Mm. Yeah, like he stabs number two, and then Pogo like hurts number five, and they just like go back. Oh
Like
no,
baby Pogo.
yeah, baby Pogo who like can't speak yet.
And obviously the dad doesn't know that he's the dad.
Yeah, because obviously he hasn't adopted these kids like 40, 50 years late. No, 40 years later ish. So he's
Yeah.
obviously like, what the hell are you doing, you weirdos? And he doesn't believe them. And there's like, it's not really explored that much, but I think it's like set up for the next season. Like he has this weird organization. They keep having meetings about stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a big reveal that he's an alien. So random, but I'm
Oh
guessing
my
that's
god,
gonna
in
be
the end,
in
yeah,
season
that was,
three. Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Mm.
And then there's number six, Ben,
Mm.
who is basically just on the road with Klaus, and
Mm.
I don't
He's
know how
really
to feel
sick
about
of his
Ben.
shit. I mean, he's
And he
funny.
tries to like, he's kind of like comedic relief in
Mm.
some ways. They found out that he can like get into Klaus's body.
He can possess him.
Yeah, he can possess him, and it's like really weird. And he doesn't really have a character like that much. We'll come to one part,
Mm.
but it happens in the end, so I think we should
Mm.
wait.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say he has an arc, but he's literally dead, so like I don't like blame him
Yeah,
for that. And obviously only Klaus can see him. So that's another thing, like he's struggling with the fact that no one else can see him. He's like
yeah.
Klaus like being like a self-destructive, and yeah, he's just
And Klaus isn't telling people that Ben is there.
yeah. Wait, he doesn't say that. He
Yeah,
said
no, he
it.
doesn't. He always goes like, they're like, "Oh, it's Ben there," and he's like, "Nah."
Nah, even though he's been there for the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's number seven, the white violin, Vanya. When
Oh
she
yeah.
appears, she goes into the street and she gets hit by a car and she hits her head, so she loses her memories.
Yes, she
So
loses all her memories.
this girl, I think, is that Grace her name?
Um, Grace.
Or is that the mom?
Wait, what girl are you thinking about?
Grace is the mom.
Is
The
Grace the
blonde one.
Grace?
Grace is the robot mom.
Oh, okay, okay. I think the mum's called like um Kimmy or something. Okay, let me Google it.
Sissy?
Sissy. What did I say it was?
Kimmy or something?
It's a stupid name. Sissy's like a weird name.
Well, basically,
Mm.
Sissy's the one who
Hits her
um
with a car.
hits her with the car. So they're a family of three. So Sissy, the husband, and their son, who
Pardon? Is that his name? No.
who has sickness.
Well, it's implied that he has autism, but they don't have like a name for it back in the day.
Yeah. So basically, they kind of have Vanya as their guest because she doesn't have her memory. So they are putting they're putting stuff in the newspapers for
Mm.
people to find her if there is someone out there who knows her
No.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And but until then, she gets to stay with them. And basically, she and Sissy get feelings for each other, and it's really taboo because they're not allowed to be gay in the
Yeah.
1960s, and
Obviously, yeah. She's
the
Sissy's like still married and has a kid to look after, so it's
yeah.
complicated.
But then Vanya is really good with the kid, and they are
Mm.
really struggling when Vanya isn't there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really cute. Vanya and the kids' relationship is really wholesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Is that
and
everyone?
then there's the whole thing with the company.
Mm. Oh, basically, at the end of like season one, this lady,
Uh,
I think her name's the handler.
mhm.
Haven't Googled that to confirm, but basically she's like the leader of this the time agency company we're talking about. She was like shot in season one. I
So you
don't.
think she's dead?
So we think she's dead, but like one of the things is, oh wow, she actually was alive, and um yeah, basically she wants to like regain control of the company, but she gets demoted, and like a fish is like the head of the company now. It's really
AJ
weird.
Carmichael.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
I love the fish man, genuinely. Uh,
he's
but
so
yeah,
fun.
basically, the fish man is the boss, but obviously, the handler isn't gonna let that go. And basically, turns out that Lila, the character that Diego is in the mental asylum with, was like her adopted daughter, and
Yeah,
the handler actually killed her parents. Um, but yeah, she thinks that Lila thinks someone else killed her parents, and so like Lila and the handler have like a really wholesome family relationship. And yeah, so she's basically working for the handler, and she's trying to keep an eye on the family, the Hargreaves, and she's kind of helping them, but she's also not helping them because she's on
yeah.
the time agency side.
But she still loves Diego,
Yeah, I think she
even though she
genuinely likes
betrays
him.
him.
Yeah, or she betrays him. But then he betrays her too, so it's like
But
mutual.
so she tries to recruit him for the company,
Mm.
and that's when he finds he
Who
does some
caused the apocalypse?
yeah, and he finds he goes to this room where you can like see ahead of time,
Mm.
and he basically figures out that there's an explosion. Like John F. Kennedy,
As he's
if
driving
he
past, like there's an explosion in the FBI building.
yeah, so he doesn't drive the route where he's supposed to take, where he gets shot, so he doesn't get killed. And because he doesn't get killed, uh, there's
He.
people think it's the Soviet Union who did the attack.
Mm.
Therefore, there's a war that breaks out.
Yeah, yeah.
So Diego uncovers this. Meanwhile, Vanya
Mm-hmm.
is taken.
She's taken.
She was taken by
Oh, yeah, yeah. I thought there's way more stuff in the middle we have to get through before we get to that.
uh
Um. Okay. Another like side sort of villains. There are these three Swedish guys who kind of also
oh
work
yeah,
for the time agency, and
the
they're trying
time thing, yeah.
to kill Five.
They're trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, also yeah, pretty much everyone. They're trying to kill all the siblings so that, it happens how it's supposed to.
Oh, but it's
Um,
kind of sad.
it really is. One of them, like, oh, Allison finally uses her power again and like makes one of them kill his own brother. It's really messed up, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of it was really messed up, and I felt
Mhm.
bad for the Swedish guys, but they were
Also
cold
bad
ass fucking murderers.
guys. Yeah, they were like proper trying to kill everyone. Um,
Um,
there's well, basically, if we're going like linearly, like everyone has their own like subplots going on, and then in like
yeah,
what is it, like episode, I don't know, like midway through the season they obviously all meet, and it's like a really cute reunion because they haven't seen each other in like a
the
while.
cutest reunion. Well, not all of them were cute,
Okay,
but
not all of them.
Allison and Klaus meeting up again was super
Mm,
cute.
yes, they're like my
Versus
favorite and Vanya too,
yeah,
but yeah.
versus Luther and Vanya.
Oh, but I
Luther
think,
basically tries to shoot
yeah.
Vanya, or
Mhm.
he wants to, but then he like doesn't.
Yeah, no, I think
And
it was turned around to be a nice thing because basically Vanya's like apologizing because she doesn't remember what she did. So she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't remember what I did." And then he's like, "No, I'm the one who should be sorry." And it's like a cute moment where like,
yeah,
you know, there's some sort of
um,
I don't know, something that happens to number one that's actually nice.
yeah,
Mm.
um,
More stuff happens.
well,
There's so much.
basically, when the handler and Five strikes a
Mhm.
bargain where Five goes a bit forwards in time,
Mhm.
and he to a meeting for like a committee for the
Mm.
company, and yeah, has to kill all of them, and in return he'll get a key to get out of the
Yeah,
1960s, and
she said,
the apocalypse won't happen.
yeah, she said the handler was like, if you kill these board members, I'll give you a briefcase so that you can get
Yeah,
out.
but then he does that, like he goes there and he kills them all,
Mhm.
and then he comes back, and he gets the briefcase, but he has like 90 minutes or something to
Yeah,
get everyone there, and
yeah, of course, there's like a twist.
yeah, and then Allison doesn't get there because she's attacked by the Swedes, and that's where she
Mhm.
makes the one Swede kill his brother.
Mm. Diogo is like drugged by Lila. Um, Klaus is like, oh, he's possessed, right? No, Klaus actually gets there on time. It's fine.
Yeah, Klaus gets there on
Then
time.
possesses him and then gets Klaus to the place he needs to be. Luther is also
Yeah,
there.
and
Vanya
Five is there.
Vanya gets arrested by the police. Now we can get to that part. She gets arrested by
Yeah,
the police because the dad, or Sissy's husband finds out that they've been like having a thing, and he's obviously not happy that his wife is like having an affair with like a woman of all things. So
yeah,
they try to run away with Harlan, that's his name.
Harlan, yeah.
But no, she gets arrested and she like shows off her powers.
Yeah, so she gets taken to this place where they like interrogate her because they think she is
A Russian spy because she can speak
yeah,
Russian. I don't know what that was about, but
yeah,
she's
neither.
randomly there. Also, her name's like Vanya. It's like sounds very, Russian.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's racist, but yeah.
Um and she's like tortured with electricity. She gets electrocuted
Also
a lot.
LSD. She also is like on drugs, but is also getting
Yeah,
electrocuted.
and she's having a rough time,
Mm,
and basically Diego saw that it was her that will cause the explosion.
mm.
So they have to like get to her. Um and does anything happen in between there?
Um, no, they're all just getting to her. And then what's number five and Luther doing? They're not there when she gets to him.
There oh yeah, 'cause 5 to get another ticket home,
Mm.
5 is trying to meet his old self when he was in the 1960s
Mm.
to make sure the assassination of John F. Kennedy happened.
Yes, because oh, we forgot to mention a big thing. Number five, like old number five, actually works for the time agency until he like quits and then does a whole thing. But
Yeah,
and then then obviously number fives both meeting each other like, it's like bad. So like there's like a paradox, but like I really like the way they did the paradox here because like they both have like really weird like symptoms, like they're really itchy and they're like
the fart.
they fart and then like it goes up in stages and the last stage is like homicidal rage and they're like trying to like fight each other to the death and it makes it quite a fun action scene because both of them can teleport and it's just like really fun watching them fight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, and I think they end up getting a suitcase. It
Mm,
was something like that, and then they push the old number 5 through the portal, which
yeah.
ends up being where we start season 1.
Yeah, yeah. So it would
That's
come
the
full
same
circle.
portal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other ones, Klaus, Allison, um, and
Yeah.
Diego,
Yeah.
are all trying to get to Vanya because she's like there's like
Energy, like
pulsating energy
noise as
and
well. Like, isn't that her power? Like noise?
yeah,
It's weird.
and it's about to explode and they have to try to get to her basically. So they
Mm,
all take each turn and try to get to her, but the energy that she's pulsating towards them is just
really
too
strong.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can't reach her.
Mm.
So Ben
Oh, Ben.
uh goes manages to go there because he's a ghost.
Mm.
And he like touches Vanya and then he like goes inside her mind, I guess.
Yeah, basically the LSD like made her
Which
trapped in
yeah.
her head and she's like having like a scenario, like a nightmare scenario where all of them are at the table and like the dad's telling them off and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then oh yeah, she gets her memories back and she's like eating a
Yeah.
brain, like weird, but like yeah, she gets her memories back and she's obviously like getting upset about it and then she like stays in there and then Ben finds her like sat down on the floor like really upset and then he
Inside
inside her
a
head.
violin, right?
Yeah? Oh, yeah, yeah, it's
I think
inside a violin. It's like I'm guessing that's like a nice visual way of like representing her brain, which is
yeah.
cute.
And
Cute
basically he sacrifices himself.
himself. Mm.
So he disappear like he's no longer a ghost. He's just gone now
Yeah, yeah. But
to
he
get
like
her.
yeah, gets her
Yeah,
help. Like he gives her like a motivational talk, but it's a really cute one. And like Vanya's
yeah.
like, yeah, okay. And then yeah.
And then he dies and then
Mm.
or like proper dies
Yeah. She's
and she like
fine.
wakes up, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
and she doesn't explode and John F.
Mm.
Kennedy gets shot.
Mm.
Um but how did they go from there to the farm?
Right. Okay. So some wait. Okay. No. Basically, Diego finds out after Vanya's safe and stuff. He finds out that John F. Kennedy hasn't been killed, and he thinks he sees their dad, but it turns out their dad wasn't involved. It's like a supposed to
It
be a
was a
plot
deep.
twist. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Oh, Harlan.
oh yeah. Yeah. The stuff at the building, she still like killed a bunch of FBI officers. So like all of them are like wanted or like
Yeah.
they're like suspected criminals now. Go on about
Yeah.
Harlan.
But basically, before Vanya is taken by the police and everything,
Mm,
there's an episode where Harlan runs away and he
yeah.
almost drowns.
Mm,
But she manages to push the water aside and find him in a lake, and she takes him up and she gives him mouth to mouth to save him.
mm,
And part of her goes inside him. So when
yeah.
she gets tortured and everything's happening to her, he is like getting it
Mm,
too.
yeah. They have like a link. and he's
Yeah,
experiencing the torture.
and I think, isn't it, doesn't Sissy call her and say something about Harlan or something?
Mm, it's either that. No, it has to be so. Yeah, Sissy calls her and she's like, uh, "I'm the only one who can actually help," or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, so that she can help him.
Or did Vanya see some visions of Harlan?
Yeah, I don't really remember, but
I don't,
basically
something
they
like
get
that.
to
Anyway,
the
they go to a farm,
farm.
find Harlan like suspended mid-air, and
Mm,
uh,
with energy around him that no one else can capture.
yeah. And Vanya goes inside and calms him down.
Mm. But
Um,
they went to the farm because Vanya was like, "Oh, I have to see Sissy because she's still in love with her, you know." But
oh
no,
yeah,
everyone else was like, "Oh no, the world is more important," and it was like supposed to be like a character development kind of because like everyone like always abandoned her. Vanya always felt left out. She never felt included, and like she was
and she
like,
did.
yeah, and she, I guess, she thought, oh, everything's changed now. You know, we've bonded more. We're all together. But they all said like, no. But then it's like a cute moment where like all of them actually do turn up, and it's like really adorable because Vanya
Yeah.
deserves love, and yeah, they all support her. It's really cute.
And then they go to the farm,
Mhm.
where all hell breaks loose.
Mm. Because
um,
Lila and the handler are there, and basically they're like, yeah, we're not gonna let you do this. We're not gonna let you travel back. So yeah, we're gonna kill you. And then like so many of the agents from the agency like turn up with their um briefcases, the things, and so yeah, there's like a big battle if you like, you know.
yeah. And then Vanya does her superpowers and like flies out, and there's a
Mm.
blast of energy, and then all of them are like laying there, and then
Mm.
suddenly Lila,
Plot twist number 2 or 10 or who
yeah,
knows.
then suddenly Lila flies up in the air and blasts the same to
Mm.
like towards them, so
Yeah.
they get Diego gets stuck under his foot gets stuck under a tractor.
Yeah.
And then there's basically just fighting between all of them and Lila, I guess.
She's also you know, like we said, the 43 children that had powers. She's one of the other 43 children who had powers.
And her power is that she can mimic the other powers,
Mm.
but she can only do one at a time.
Yeah, she can't just have all the powers.
Yeah, because there's like different scenes where she fights all of them. There's one where she fights
Mm.
five and she gets the teleporting,
Mm.
and yeah, stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's like a climax where they all come inside the barn,
Mm.
and
Oh, did they find out that Lila was one of their other siblings, or they feel like, oh wow, she's one of us. She's born on the same day, you know. She's one of them with superpowers, and they're like having a little cute moment where they're trying to make Lila like come to the good side effectively, but
yeah,
the handler comes in and she's like, fuck you, and then shoots everyone in the barn. Like every single one of the main characters is like shot by her in the barn
yeah. And then the Swedish guy comes in and shoots the handler.
because, well, she totally betrayed them as well.
Yeah. But five is he's still alive, so he uses his power of time travel,
Mm.
and he turns back like some minutes
Uh,
where he
yeah, yeah.
so like everyone's alive again.
He stops the handler from shooting everyone, and then the Swedish guy shoots the
Oh yeah.
handler. Um, and they, but another thing was another like character moment, if you say, is like Five was talking to their dad, and he was like, with time travel, you should start out with seconds and then minutes, and you can change whole like wars or whatever, and then that's like supposed to be a big payoff moment where like he actually does try time travel like properly, if you say, because like evidently
Yeah.
it's gone quite bad. Um, so yeah, then they like win, and then oh, Herb is like the new agency leader or whatever, and he's like, yeah, sure, just take one of the many briefcases from the dead people and go home. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like then they go home and they're inside the academy and like the dad's like, we've been expecting you,
Mm.
but everything looks kind of different, and they're like,
Mm.
we're home, and he's like, it's not your home or something like that.
And he's like,
And
oh, but this is the Umbrella Academy. And he's like, incorrect again. This is the Sparrow Academy.
yeah, and then you can see like silhouettes of, I think, probably like 6 people upstairs. We can't see their faces.
Mm. And
And that's
Ben,
what?
Ben returns. Ben
Oh
is
my
one of
god,
the
yeah,
others.
Ben is
He's alive.
there.
Yeah.
So that's where season 1 ends off.
Season two.
Season 2, I mean.
Yeah. There's also like some other stuff. Basically, Vanya took away Harlan's powers or something, but she didn't really take it away, and he still has powers. And like Sissy's driving him somewhere. There's like a bunch of little, little
Yeah.
cliffhangers, I guess, for season three. And obviously, the big one is the fact that there's now an they well basically they messed up again, and they just can't get any of it right.
Yeah. They messed up too much in the timeline, and there's now the Sparrow Academy,
Mm.
and um the dad's an alien.
Oh yeah, the
The
dad's an
dad is
alien.
alive.
And oh yeah, he's also alive because he was dead in the first one. So
Yeah.
um, that about concludes the plot of season two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Did you like this season better or worse?
I don't know. I like that they're in the 60s, and I like
Mm.
them. I like the character development probably a bit more.
Mm.
But I found it boring that, for example, Vanya lost her memory,
Mm.
and that it was the end of the world thing all over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it was fun as well. Like I liked most. I don't know. I'm very conflicted about it because it's
Mm.
good and it's also kind of boring.
I don't know if it's because like we mostly binged it. We binged it together. We watched like 8 episodes in like one sitting.
Yeah.
No regrets. But yeah, no, I don't know if it's because I like the first season. I like watched like quite slowly, like maybe a couple episodes like a day. Like it was spread out. But this, like, I watched all of it like just straight up, and like the other episodes or whatever. But yeah, at the beginning I was like, it's a bit slow. It doesn't really feel
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought as well.
different. I agree. But then I don't know. Maybe it's because we all like just binged it, but it felt like really I don't know, maybe the arcs were nicer, but you could like see them
Yeah,
happen, like they were happening like through the day effectively. So you like
yeah,
you got to see I don't know, it's intent I don't know because I felt like I just had more fun watching this, and I don't know if it's because I watched it with you or if it's because I watched it all together in one sitting, but like it just felt more fun like from like an enjoyment standpoint, not from like
yeah, yeah,
a critical standpoint. From a critical standpoint, I don't feel like that it was much different in like, the production or anything like that. It felt like
yeah, yeah,
they had really similar sort of production value. Actually, no, I'm gonna say no because they had way more like locations they filmed, and like the shots were kind of bigger. Like the stuff with like the
yeah,
house and his like cult, like that's a shot that would not have fit in season one because like they never had like those big sort of scenes, or like not really, I'd say season one was like
mm,
very characters. Oh, you're establishing these characters. Oh, they're trauma, look at them, this is what happens when
yeah,
you're like a child superhero. And then obviously the plot was also a bit insane, but like I felt like it was bigger this season. Okay, I just fully contradicted
yeah,
what I said, but it just felt bigger in like some sort of like minuscule things, like the
Yeah,
shows were
yeah,
bigger, or like the sets were bigger, or the cast was bigger, I'd say. Like there was so many extras and so many people that were
yeah.
a part of
I'd
it.
say if I compare it to season 1, I'd rather watch season 2 again than season 1 again.
Same, same. I have to say that, yeah.
But it's also because season 1 is setting up all the characters, but you already know
Mm,
the stuff, so it's not as
yeah,
interesting.
true, true. Yeah, that's the thing with like the beginning in a series. It can kind of be a bit lackluster because it's all about like exposition and setting things up, and then season two can just be like fun, and you can just like do
Yeah.
whatever you want, and it's all about
But
like
I
any.
think
Mhm.
I'd give it a if we were giving season 1 a 6.75, I'd give season 2 a 7.
Okay, okay, yeah, no, I can agree. It's a seven.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a step up, but it's not like a major step up like anything like that. In Yeah, but then definitely when in terms of feelings, the first one after I finished it, I was like, oh yeah, excited for season two, but I wasn't like, oh wow, I love this show. Season two, after I finished it, I was like, oh wow, I really like this show.
Yeah.
And whereas I didn't feel like that after finishing season one, so.
I did feel like that after finishing season 1, and I kind of still do, but I don't know. There's something I feel like is just missing from
Mm.
the whole white violin
Hmm.
side.
You miss Vanya's powers?
I don't know. It's just something from that is just missing. Like she came around to everything so quickly when in season 1 she was so angry.
Mm,
She
true.
never got like a they never had like a repercussion of that. She
Mm.
just in season 2 she just kind of when she got her memories back, she just kind of accepted the fact that that had happened and that she had now moved on.
You know what? That's a really good point because like none of the siblings have like their character moment. Like um Vanya and Luther and like even Diego, like they need to like sit down and have a conversation because like yeah, sure, Diego and Luther are over it. They lived like their life for a bit, and they've like maybe forgiven her, but like she hasn't forgiven herself. Like she didn't even remember, and then she's like as soon as she got her memories back, her siblings betray her, but then they obviously make it better. But it's like yeah, so that happens, and then she has to fight a big battle, and
Yeah.
then they just go home, like obviously. But then that's more like a, oh, the season was too short, maybe, because I kind of agree. Like maybe the feeling you're getting is like it didn't feel very conclusive, like that it didn't feel like enough things were paid off, maybe is what you're saying, because I kind of feel like that it wasn't very satisfying. But
It just feels like they didn't conclude stuff from season 1 that they should have
mm,
been concluded at least throughout season 2.
yeah, yeah, but I get you now because the fact that she has memory loss kind of totally ruined any sort of payoff or any sort of forgiveness or like scenes that were really emotional that were kind of
Yeah.
taken out because yeah, that's true. Oh,
It's just that they went kind of far from season 1. Like, it
mm,
bothered me with season 2 that she lost her memory, like, even though I understand and it made for a good plot the with
with the
Sissy and everything,
yeah, yeah. Thing
but,
is
like,
though,
could they have done it in another way?
that's like a thing because I love Sissy and Vanya together. Like, don't get me wrong, but Lesbians Unite, come on, it was great. I was so happy. I think you know how I was really happy about Vanya and Sissy, but I think, yeah, it felt like they tried to do like a little soft reboot almost because, like, what were the
Yeah.
things that were explored from season one? They were completely dropped, like, and they just had to do another thing, and like, you just didn't. Maybe like there were glimpses of stuff like Cloud, like Luther kind of forgiving Vanya and stuff like that. It was there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't there enough because if Vanya genuinely like Luther and Vanya should have like had a fight or like something, and they should have then like
Yeah.
reconciled, and then that could be like the reason why they were like kept separated, and then they came together at the end when they forgave each other would have felt way way more satisfying than just Vanya being like yeah, I was tortured and then now I accept everything that happened to me without question.
Yeah.
Mm. Hopefully that's explored in season 3, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
excited for season
I'm
3.
excited for season 3. I think one thing that's good about this is at least like it gets you hyped for the next season because there's always like a
Yeah.
setup and like stuff they just leave. So hyped.
It leaves you wanting more.
Mm. But do you feel there was too much setup and not enough payoffs in this season? Actually, no, I felt like it was
Uh,
an
More like last season.
wait, do you think there was more setups last season?
More setup and less payoff.
Last season.
Yeah.
Really interesting. I feel like there's
Yeah,
way
because
more
you don't
setup
get the...
in this. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. There's more setup in this, but there's also, I think the payoff is pretty good
Mm.
here. But in the first season, there's quite a bit of setup. Maybe not as much as season 2, but there's not nearly as much payoff.
I think I get you with that. So you felt like it was more like a balance of setup and payoffs in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I did get that satisfying moment when they all came back. Like, I don't know why, but I was waiting like the whole season for them to come back to their own time, and it felt good when they finally did. To be fair,
Yeah.
wow, I really just contradicted myself like 5 minutes ago, but okay.
It's fine.
mm. Um, anything else to say about the characters?
Not really. I think we should round this episode off.
Yeah, it's getting a bit long, but obviously there
It's
were like moments where we went on tangents and like stuff happened. So I don't think it's
yeah,
actually gonna be
yeah.
1 hour. But yeah, oh my god, if it's 1 hour, I'm gonna die.
It's fine.
It's
We can
fine.
do with the long boy every once in a while.
Yeah, oh true, true. I do want some long boys here and there.
But for the people listening,
Mhm.
this podcast won't just be about things we've watched, we promise.
We sure about that. It's just been movies, shows, books.
Yeah, we'll try and have some diversity.
We love that here.
We'd love that. Um but yeah, that was our rant about the Umbrella Academy.
Mhm.
Can't wait for season 3, and season 3 will be a lot easier to explain
True.
because then we already have this setup episode.
True, because we had to like watch like an 11-minute video of this guy recapping what happened in season 1 because we did not remember anything,
Yeah.
honestly. Mm.
But yeah, don't know when next time will be or what we will be talking about, but
Mhm.
until then, we
Uh,
signing off.
we're signing off. We're
We're
orbiting
signing off.
away.
We're orbiting away. Bye. Yeet.
Bye. Yeet.
Yeet.